Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all latest news that happened during the week of tech and mobile and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comments section down below and I will answer it before the end of the show. Now, hopefully everything looks okay. It looks a little bit dark, but this is the first time I'm on my new laptop, so hopefully that will be okay. But there might be some hiccups. I apologize if there is. We will have to wait and see, though, to just see how it goes. All right, that being said, let's get to the first bit of news, which is on the OnePlus Open actually being a lot different from what all the rumors were before. So this is a really big one, in my opinion, because I think so many influencers were touting this as this is the one. Trust me, this is going to be the biggest one ever in terms of just everything it has to offer. And I'm it's funny because now that you know, a lot of influencers I would say abandoned the Pixel and kind of went with this one, it's actually going to be a lot like the Pixel. It turns out that the earlier renders were not of what we're going to get with the OnePlus Open when it does come out at the end of September. Is no wait. At the end of August was when it was supposed to be announced, and then I think they pushed it back 2 weeks. So I think it's mid-September, possibly till the end of it to see, not clash with Apple. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But these are the new renders, and if you can see it, it basically looks like the Pixel Fold now. The reason for this is a lot more similar to the style that Pixel was getting beforehand with its, or sorry, this is a lot more of a style that the Oppo N2 was when it came out. So now it just looks like it's going to be verbatim more so. When the hope originally was that we were actually going to get something more unique and different than what they were offering. So I'm very curious on to see how it will turn out. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I am curious about this because I do think it's uh the big selling point of this one was going to be, it was kind of going to be the perfect screen in between the Pixel Fold and in between the Fold 5, and we were going to finally see how a perfect screen would look like on this device, and it doesn't look like we're going to get it. It looks like it will pretty much be the same kind of style, shape, and everything of the Pixel Fold, which I do believe is better. But the big thing about that is, if it's like the Pixel Fold, is this one really going to be better? I will say that while I believe the Pixel Fold will still take probably better photos than this one, I do I do feel the Tensor processor comparing to the Snapdragon. I will say that I did not feel it on my Pixel 7 Pro, but there's something about it being on this device that has shown that it wasn't fully baked as much and it wasn't as fully tuned as much, but there's definitely something that is missing from the phone. And I'll go over that in about a week's time. I'm going to do another review for it. So uh, kind of wait to see that, because I will say if I'll be sticking with the Pixel Fold as my main phone, or am I going to be switching over? Have to wait and see. All right. In other news, speaking of the Pixel, we have the Pixel Watch 2. And I would say there are two big things really with it. First off, it is going to get UWB, which is the ultra wideband Bluetooth, which just means basically that you can actually be able to, essentially, the biggest thing they're going to be able to do is, if you're finding your phone or if you're finding your watch, you'll be able to directionally find it, and that is going to be the big thing for it, which is sure, why not? But I think the other biggest thing that we have confirmed here is that we are going to get a Snapdragon processor instead of the Samsung Exynos processor. I think this will be very interesting because the Pixel Watch didn't have the longest battery life, so I'm very curious to see how this battery life will be in comparison. Are we going to get more than 1 day battery life? I have not reviewed a watch with the Snapdragon W5 yet, and they're not going to have the W5 Plus in there. But I'm very curious to see how that will turn out. And yes, very, very curious to see how that will turn out, because I think this is going to be something that will stand out, and we'll see a better battery life. If we can get a 2 day battery life on a Pixel Watch, I might honestly consider it. So very curious to see how that will turn out. Just because the style is nice, it's very good looking. Very curious to see how it will come out in the end. Don't get me wrong, though, I am very much excited to get my Galaxy Watch 5 Classic because I miss my rotating bezel. All right, speaking of Samsung, see these transitions just on fire today. We are getting a Galaxy Tab S9 FE and FE Plus. Although it was rumored before and it was not announced, as I said it wouldn't be, at Samsung's Unpacked event, Samsung themselves just leaked it. And it's not Samsung US, but another country. Yes, I think it was in France. Yeah, France. They have accidentally just leaked it on some of the devices that you can get trade-ins or get these services for, and can bundle with. Basically, with these services, they're available on these devices, including the Galaxy Tab S FE and FE Plus. So we are definitely getting the FE models. It's just a matter of when now. Again, I said that it would probably be October, November, just because it would be ideally before Black Friday. So I'm hoping early November at the latest is when we're going to get them. But the idea behind these are, yes, they are going to be out. I would say it makes a lot more sense for them to come out in October, just because that way they'll get, a month time before Black Friday at regular price, and then if they need to do a discount that day, they will, or maybe throw in a free case or something like that. The question is of how much the cost will be is a whole other thing. Rumors are right now that it won't be that much less than the non-FE models, which is always a troublesome of, well, then why do they exist? I hope the FE Plus is $100 less than the regular S9, and then I hope the FE is $200 less than the regular S9, and I think that would be ideal. But we'll have to wait and see. Did you get an Android tablet in this past year? I've gotten the Pixel tablet, and I have my regular Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra still. Did not see a reason to get the S9 just because of the new processor. That was pretty much all they updated. And not to mention that I would have had to buy a whole new case, which was not discounted. They discounted the cheaper version of the case, which is not as good. So yeah, I did not go with that one because I want a better quality case more than I want a better processor for my tablet, at least. So that's what I went with. All right. And then we have Sam Mobile, which granted, is a Samsung driven uh, page, website, and definitely a Samsung driven YouTube channel. And they were talking about, well, actually, the Flip Fold and the Fold 5 have tons of camera improvements underneath the hood that aren't being talked about. And yes, they do apparently. But I haven't seen one of these that can't be a software update. So it's a lot of AI stuff, basically, in terms of your basic photo enhancements. Warm and natural looking better than before, but in my opinion, like, this one is the opposite because this looks warm and this looks natural. But in this one, yeah, this one looks warm and, again, more natural. But this one I would say looks better than the photo. This one, maybe their face was flush red. So it's supposed to be fine tuning these things. Lots of other things, from night photography to natural portrait being improved to the under camera on the Fold 5 being improved. I mean, I hope so. I don't think it can get much worse. But this is a really good example of how it's less shiny, was, I think, the technical term we all used. But yeah, so better. I try to never use it at all costs. Better in terms of AI based for text, all this kind of stuff. All these things were shown off at the Samsung Unpacked event. So to be fair, we'll actually have to see how much it improves when it comes out. But none of it looks like it's any other thing else than software updates. So I don't see why the Fold 4 and Fold and Flip 4 wouldn't get these updates because they're the same cameras. So yeah. And then we move on to the announcement date for the iPhone 15, and it looks like it will be September 13th is the date that most people are circling right now. And then pre-orders would come out 2 days later on the 15th. Then, of course, they would release 2 weeks later, which that would land it on. Sorry, I'm trying to just see. That would land it on the 15th. Oh, I'm sorry. Dang, Windows doesn't update and I can't pull up the calendar anymore. All right. That would land it on the 29th, which is fairly typical. Like, fairly typical. It's pretty much when we see, it's always around that time frame. So I think it's a safe bet. What are we going to really get with this iPhone? Well, we mainly hear about a more bezel-less design, and we more also hear about the USB Type C finally coming to it. So that will be, I think, the biggest thing ever that we see from an iPhone, to be honest. And I do believe, and quote me on this, because I do really believe this is going to happen. I truly believe that we are going to see a big uptick in sales for the iPhone this year, because I think there is going to be a demand for USB-C iPhones. I truly do believe they're going to have their first big increase in sales in 3 years. I want to say that they've been going down for a while now. I did forget since when, but yeah, that's the big thing I would say is I think this will be the first big increase in sales for iPhones in a long time, because I think there will be a demand for USB Type C iPhone, and it'll be a reason to upgrade, because then all of your electronics, including your iPad, including your MacBook, including all of your electronics, will be from there. So that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think for sure. All right. And then the very last thing, this caught me completely off guard. I I don't know when this happened, what I missed, but there is a new player in the mobile world, and I was completely, oblivious to it. So these are the sales, shipments wise, and everything for Samsung, Apple, so far this year. So in terms of everyone, basically, with the exception of two companies, everyone is down year over year. Everyone is down year over year. Samsung is down, Apple is down, Xiaomi is down, Oppo is down. Although Oppo has less down year over year than a lot of others, they're at the 10% mark, so they're kind of staying okay. Vivo's staying at the 10% mark. Honor's only 6% down, so they're doing fairly well. But the two that are seeing a slight increase, one is Huawei, which, while I would be impressed that they're seeing an increase, I had no idea Huawei had fallen so far. I want to remind you guys, I want to say it was 4 years ago. 4 years ago, Huawei passed Apple and was on its way to possibly going toe to toe with Samsung in terms of the top selling smartphones. Just to clarify, Samsung has always been the top one ever since I think since the S4 days. Samsung has been the top selling smartphone manufacturer in the world, and they've never lost the title. They've lost it certain quarters, Q3 namely. Apple will beat them, but in Q4, Samsung typically gets it back, and then Q1 and 2 is all Samsung. So it is something that's always been constant. But wow, when you look at that, 53 million compared to 7, 60 million compared to 6, it is insane that Huawei was selling more than Apple 4 years ago. That is just crazy in my opinion. Like, just crazy. But this is the one thing that I was unaware of. I was completely unaware of. There is a company that's seen a huge increase year over year, and quarter over quarter, it's insane, that I never heard of. Transition. And I'm like, who the hell is Transition? I know the Oppo group. I know all the ones they own. OnePlus is obviously one of them. Um, who is Transition? They have grown to be number 5 and really almost number 4 this quarter, and had a huge increase from 13% to 24%, eclipsing Vivo, Honor, Motorola, Realme, and Huawei. So I'm like, who are these people? Who are these people? 38%. They are by far more than double the closest one, which is Huawei, year over year growth. And it turns out this company is made of three main companies. And it is where are they? Oh yeah, itel, Techno, and Infinix. Out of these three brands, I'd only ever heard of Infinix. Infinix on Amazon sells one phone. One phone on Amazon. It's like the Infinix Hot 20 or Hot 10, I think it's called. It's an older version. It's not the current models that they have. Tenco does not sell any phones on Amazon. Neither does itel. But Techno does sell Bluetooth headsets, so that's what you can find on Amazon from them. Where they mainly sell is India, the overall Middle East, Latin America, Southeast Asia, and South Asia. So those are the predominant places they sell, and they've sold so much that they've really, I mean, it's very impressive how much they've sold in such a short time. By the way, I do also want to add that it is interesting that Pixel isn't here yet. Like, you would think Pixel is somewhere in there, but it's below the 7% mark. It's still an other, or sorry, it's below the 7 million mark, so it's still an other. I'm very curious when Pixel will get there. But to go back onto this one, this is really interesting. When looking up this brand, when looking up all three brands, the only one you can really get in the U.S. is Infinix. And they do have one called the Infinix Note that has the same uh, camera that the S22 Ultra had. So not the S23 Ultra that got the 200 megapixel camera, but the S22 Ultra that had the 108 megapixel sensor. I am very tempted to just buy this and test it out. Let me know what you guys think. It's been a while since I tested out a brand new brand that I've no previous experience for. But yeah, very curious on this one, and let me know what you guys think. Apparently, their Note 20 Pro, I believe, or Note 30 Pro, I think is their current model. Note 30 Pro is about $250. So obviously, again, these are very affordable phones. How they've gotten so big so quickly, and in these countries, obviously, that is the main thing that you would want. So I'm very curious on this brand. Let me know what you guys think. It does come with Google services, by the way, too, which is one thing that I always check for. But if you guys want me to check out this brand, let me know, and I give you my thoughts on it, because this brand shot up to being the top 5th brand in the world right now for this quarter. Let me clarify that. For this quarter. It is not. It would not be for the year, because they did, again, they were 13 million and jumped to 24 million. That's a huge increase. So yeah, very curious to see how it goes with this company, and it's just such a huge increase. 17 million last year this time to 24. It's a big jump, and the fact that they are above Vivo is very interesting. because again, I'd never heard of this company. And I've heard it in Infinix. I saw some of their phones here and there sometimes, but nothing major. So I'm very curious what your guys' thoughts are. Should I test it out? Let me know in the comment section. All right, and now let's get to your guys' questions. If you have any questions you want to ask, including any buying tips or strategies or anything like that, let me know in the comment section and I will help you out. And yeah, I am. By the way, I think I posted this on my page, but if you guys didn't know, I am selling my old laptop. So email me or instant message me on God dang it, X, or anything like that. If you're interested in it, I think I am selling it now. I have a friend sell all my products for me, but I want to say I'm selling it now for 900 for a viewer that watches this. I'll sell it for 8. And it's my old laptop that I did all my editing with beforehand. It just wasn't good enough to do 4K footage, which I have been increasingly going towards. So I think actually in the next 2 weeks I will release my first ever 4K video. So that will be something new and different for me, and I'm very curious to see how it turns out and how this new laptop handles. But I will say that it's had no issues stuttering or anything like that with this live stream. It's like sipping on the battery life and sipping on the power compared to what I used to have to deal with my last one. And it makes me excited because I really want to see, like, could I maybe go 4K finally on or at least right now this is a high-end camera, but it's doing it at 720p at 30 frames. So even though it's a mirrorless camera to direct USB, it does downgrade the quality. I do have a better camera that has overheated before when I tried live streaming with it. They can do 1080p 60, which I'd be very curious to see how it would go. But yeah, so new improvements might be coming because of my new laptop, so very curious to see how that will go. All right. Let's go ahead and answer your questions. Again, if you have a question you want to ask, just ask in the comment section down below, and I will answer before the end of the show. Please let me know, how has everything been running today's show too? Again, new laptop, so hopefully the mic is the one in front of me. Good quality, less, muffles and all that kind of stuff. I do realize I have this a little high, so I'm sorry if you heard a lot of fan noise. But let me know anything that's going on. All right. Let's see. Hi, a couple of questions for you. Why do I have to verify my Twitter account to message you? You should not have to verify your Twitter account to message me. I don't have verified Twitter or X. Yeah, no, it literally tells me get verified if you want to be verified. I do not have that. So I have it so that it has to be requested to message me. But most of all of my message requests are spam from what I can see right now, looking at it real quick. But yeah, that is all I can tell you. You should not have to. I do not require it for sure. But yeah, as far as I can tell, you do not have to do that to message me. Microphone is low. Okay, thank you for that. Oh man. This is a new setup, so unfortunately I do not have it where I used to. I want to say it was at one. How is that? Is it clipping? I just increased it by 25% on the microphone. So let me know if it's clipping or if it sounds bad now that I increased it. it would kind of be more difficult to do other things during the stream, mind you. But let me know if that kind of helped it. All right. Let's see. Uh, so the Ring Kong better than Raycons? It's funny because I just released another video where I kind of downplayed Raycons because I had I you know that was one of those partnerships where like I turned down because I did not like the quality. So yeah, if you're wondering if I ever can be bought, no, I can't because yeah, I could have got paid some good money for that, but did not like the quality on that brand. So I turned that one down. So Ringcon is definitely better than Raycon. This is Ringcon, the newest fitness thing. If you haven't checked that video out, please check it out. Need more views on it. The thing that always is fun about doing sponsored content is different content than I've done in the past. So that can be the fun part. But the downside is I never know how well it's going to hit with you guys. So if you can watch it, watch it for over 2 minutes at least, or just leave it on in the background. Give a like, thumbs up, leave a comment. That helps the algorithm out. If you do those things, that really helps me out. Just because, you know, these brands are willing to pay right now, but and I'm getting a lot more sponsorships, so I will be able to do more content, not only for sponsorships, but also more content that I like the longer that goes on. So it's definitely a possibility of me, if I continue to get more sponsorships, to get to basically bring on a full-time editor again, which will allow me to do way more videos. It will literally double my output of videos that I can do. So I'm hoping that happens, but it all determines how this goes. So please make sure you watch all the latest ones that I have coming out, like the LumaPad 2 video that came out recently, and then this recent one. It definitely helps out. Share it, all that kind of stuff. Trust me, like if you want to see continue this channel to grow, that is going to be some of the first big things. I appreciate everyone that always watches my cell phone videos because like I never have to worry about those ones, but definitely doing those other ones helps out as well. All right. Um, why didn't Samsung test their Note 7 before selling it to people? Why did the battery blow up everyone? Um, they did test it out. It the the amount of Note 7s that had issues was, I want to say it was like 0.03% or something along those lines. Like it was extremely low. It was in the margin of error. That basically like, oh, that, you know, we don't have to worry about this. Would that number have gone up to 1% to 3% if time had gone on? It's very possible. And that was the calculation that Samsung made. That it is entirely possible that out of the, I want to say it was something along the lines of 3 million Note 7s that were out in the wild, that out of all of those that were actually sold, not in boxes in stores, but that were sold, it was entirely possible that none of them would have any issues. And then it was also entirely possible that more of them would have issues. And if you went to the point of getting like 100, 200, 1,000 people out of, again, millions. But if you had that many that end up going wrong, eventually, as it got to 5 million, 7 million, that phone was projected to hit 10 million sales. The first Note to ever do it at the time, because the Note was on an all-time high at that point. So why didn't they catch it? Because they never had any issues with every phone they tested. That's why. That's why they didn't catch it, because it never had that issue. Is that guaranteed it wouldn't have? No. And that's what they weren't willing to test. I will say, if it was Apple, I don't think it would have. I said that a while ago. I don't think Apple would have recalled it. I don't think Apple would have recalled it. But Samsung did. They felt it as a dishonor more than anything else because of the culture. And that's what they did it. I had the Note 7 on my honeymoon. So I can tell you it was 2016 because that's, you know, I had the Note 7 on my honeymoon. And I got back the day, I traveled back the day it was announced that it was being recalled. So it's clear as day for me. Um, it it's very interesting the turn of events, and you know, it's not the only battery that's ever blown up. Plenty of other batteries have blown up. Samsung continued to make batteries for a lot of other manufacturers, including iPhones. Um, so all that it was at the end of the day was there's a layer between, for lack of a better terms, positive and negative, and that layer was too thin, so that if there was enough heat, if there was enough puncture, if there was enough whatever, it would connect. And when those two connect, it causes fire or explosion. Basically, it basically causes a force. So that force can either be a spark, it can be fire, it could be an explosion. It just depends on how much connects. So that's what happened. And some people may say one is too many, but there have definitely been other phones that have blown up. There have definitely been other phones that have caught fire. And it's just that puncture. If you ever get, if that layer ever gets punctured, it's over. That's what happens. That's chemistry. So yeah, so um, that's why they didn't catch it. All right. Whoa, a bunch of questions just loaded. Everybody drink. Oh, the sync is slightly off. Dang it. I was hoping that wasn't being a problem. Yeah. My delay isn't on. Oh. All right, guys. I am sorry about that. I will fix. I will fix that. Unfortunately, it's not something I can fix during the video because it's something that I have to kind of test to see if it's before or after and how much and how little. Um, I apologize though. The video and audio are completely out of sync. If yeah, I just looked at the delay. The delay isn't on there. So yeah, let's see. Hey Ricky, the soundbar came in this week and it sounds great. Thanks again. Hey Greg, congratulations on winning our soundbar competition, man. I'm glad you like it, and yeah, it's a really great soundbar. Like I always say, like I don't have to make up anything. That's what I always love about my job, is because if I don't agree with a brand, I'm just not going to review it, and the video is not going to come out. So yeah, I just love that that is something that I'm seeing again. So cool. So very happy you enjoyed it. And I love my Galaxy S10. Oh, yeah, I didn't. This was a person that was asking about the Note 7 and everything. And I love my Galaxy S10. Awesome. I know you'd gotten it, I think, this year, if I'm not mistaken. So glad you do. I wonder what it'll be like if Sony came back into the US and Canada market, especially now, slow starting to see wired headphones making a comeback. I don't think wired headphones will ever make a comeback. I honestly don't. I have had two Sonys now. I don't have the other one with me, but I do have this one. Um, so I'm using this one. This one is the best camera phone that Sony has had. However, they have a new one that doesn't have as big of a sensor, but has a really good low light and is better at automatic photo taking. So I'm currently checking out that one. That video will probably come out, I'm hoping, by the end of this week. Hopefully Saturday or Sunday of this upcoming week. And that one is very interesting to see how these automatic photos are going to come out in comparison to Sony, which is very primarily manual. It's been a very primarily, hey, we shoot manual, that's how we shoot. So it's going to be very curious to see how, at the end of the day, it looks. We'll have to wait and see. Um, but do I see them coming back? I mean, I would love more competition. Currently, we have in the lead, obviously, Apple, Samsung. Those are the two. In a distant third and fourth, we have Pixel and OnePlus. I do believe Pixel has overtaken OnePlus at this point in the US, but I could be wrong. And then, yeah, we have the others, which the others are ones like Sony, which probably sells less than a million phones, I would have to say, probably in the US. But they make some really good, nice stuff. One of them that I think is the best in its category. It's coming out this week. I want to say Wednesday or Thursday. Is this one? Doing a little video on this one, but this is the absolute best travel speaker that I would recommend. So if you want to travel with a speaker, this is the one I would recommend. Has really nice buttons on the side that are very easy to press, including hanging up and picking up a call if need be, volume rocker, Bluetooth sync, all that stuff. Really loud for its size and very small enough to put in any suitcase, whether it be a carry-on or a check-in. So really awesome. Highly recommend that one. That is the XB100. Sure. Why not even give you guys a link just in case you wanted to check it out for yourself? But it's a really awesome quality case. Hey, it's on sale right now for $12 off. And fast shipping, and it comes in different colors. I probably wouldn't have gotten the orange, but it goes with my backpack, so I'm not, very upset on that. But really good speaker to travel with. All right, let's go ahead and see what else you guys are talking about. Didn't know this company before this. Yeah, I didn't either. How do I stop my S10 battery from heating up? It's not usually your battery that's heating up; it's your processor that heats up more than anything else in your phone. And your processor touches everything, and everything is metal in there, so it tends to heat everything up. The best thing I could say is, to disperse the heat and so that it's not absorbed in your skin or something like that, I would recommend getting a case. Cases do a very good job of, because they're rubber typically and have some silicone in them, they reduce heat a lot. And that's one of the best reasons to get a case, is actually not just for the protection factor of it, but because it does reduce the heat as well. Other than that, I mean, obviously keeping it in a cooler environment is better when at all possible. And yeah, that's about it. You know, you could see my videos on the S10. For the S10, I would probably go to the S20 video on how to improve the battery life. And that should walk you through a lot of steps on how to improve the battery life and stop all your processes from running when they don't need to, while still making it run faster. So go ahead and check out those videos. Your video seems to be lagging behind in audio. I do apologize. I now know that. Yeah, there's not the delay setup, which I normally had set up on my previous laptop. I did not set it up on this one. So I apologize for that, and I hope it's not as bad as I think it is. Let's see. Might not be able to sing at the moment. Yeah, I won't be able to, unfortunately. Any clue on why the Tab S9 didn't come with a 5G unlocked version? Yeah, carriers probably didn't want it right now. That's honestly probably why. If carriers don't feel that they can sell it, they're not going to pitch it. So that is what I would say. But yeah, it's not. Oh, Moto! I completely forgot about Moto. Moto 2 is definitely in this. Yeah, I just, it's funny. I think of, I don't review the entry level Moto phones, but they sell a lot. And the one that I'm testing out right now is the Moto Razor Plus, which is honestly a really nice device. And I was gonna be done with the review and all that process until, I was like, well, I feel like I gotta put it against the Flip 5, right? Just to really compare them. But yeah, very curious to see how that comparison will go. Overall, very happy with this one though. All right. Sync between always off. Better that we get stream with issues than we can deal with it. Yeah. Again, I apologize for the stream being off. It's annoying. I get it. Um, I'm just gonna cover my mouth. Maybe that'll be better, so you can't tell if how bad it is off. My pre-order for the Flip 5 is coming to my house by the 18th. Do you think they will ship sooner? I think they're going to be shipping when they're scheduled to. That reminds me, I have no idea when mine are showing up. For those of you who don't know, I just got back into town. I was in Canada last weekend, and unfortunately, I got sick during the week on the time back. So finally feeling better. Finally, good enough. I did make two videos, but the problem with sponsorship videos is that they get delayed by approval. So I have two videos literally unlisted right now for you guys, but can't show you them till they're approved. And then there will be two videos. I'm guessing I'm gonna have four videos coming out this week because it'll be those two hopefully with the approved, and then some other ones that will be coming out as well, including some vertical videos and one just kind of my overall experience in LTX and just honestly thanking Linus's whole team for a really cool experience. I did do Tech Family Feud, by the way, so I know I had said that. You can only see it on Floatplane. For those of you who don't know, Floatplane is Linus Tech Tips. He's so big, he has his own YouTube kind of platform, and it's called Floatplane. And it is on there where you can see me on stage with some of the top tech YouTubers out there. I believe Flowplane is $10 a month or $100 for the year. So it's discounted basically for annual. You get 2 months free. Um, but I don't know if I would want anyone to kind of, really subscribe for that reason alone. I mean, he makes great content, of course, but I will probably try to get the video and just cut at least just so you can see me on stage. Just like 30 seconds or whatever. And then if you want to see the whole video, you can see it there. But it was a lot of fun, and yeah, really cool that influencers that big don't have egos and things like that. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna check while I answer some more questions. I'm gonna check to see when my products are coming in because I do not know when they are coming in. So let me go ahead and see that, and I'll continue to answer questions for you guys. So yours is coming in on the 18th. I did think they were coming in before that, but maybe I'm wrong. All right, so let's see. Hey Ricky, I know it's not a tech question, but what's a good, cheap, modern day TV entertainment stand? I bought a 60-inch, one with LED lights. I bought a 60-inch TV, one with LED light would be good, but if it's not, that's okay. Thank you as always. I don't have the most experience with those. I can only tell you the one I bought. And the one I bought, let me see orders. Let's see. Sorry, it's loading in my orders right now for Samsung. The one I bought was from IKEA, and I've liked it fine. It did get a little busted up when I moved, to the point where I've thought about getting a new one. It does not have LEDs or anything like that, though. So if you're looking for something along those lines, it doesn't have that. So just a quick update before I get into the IKEA one that I have, and I'll find it, which one I have. I'm expected to get the Fold 5 on August 11th. And the Flip 5 on August 11th. So, and the watch as well. So everything for me is supposed to be coming August 11th, which is Friday. So I'll see if that is true. But if you're getting it on the 18th, I believe that's the actual release date. There is a chance you'll get it on the 16th, I would say. Typically, if the release date you kind of get it on the Wednesday beforehand is tradition, but not always a guarantee. So I would say if you do get it earlier, it'll probably be that day. Oh yeah. Now, IKEA. What I forgot. What the heck? Um, what was it called that I got? Um, TV stand. Ah, TV stand. TV stand with storage. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some IKEA stuff. See if we found it. It's 74 products in here, so hopefully one of them will be it. Um, and if you don't have an IKEA by you, or you're just against IKEA in general, it definitely was this kind the best. Let me see if I can filter that by the category type series. There we go. Okay, they don't even list it on here. Ugh. I don't like their website. I really don't. It's like a smaller version of this. Is it? No, wait. No, this is not it. This is a good one though. I kind of like it. So I like the idea of having open areas for consoles. So liking having that, and then on top of that, you have a place. So like on mine, I have my sound bar and also the Nintendo Switch because that doesn't fit in those little things. And I have two drawers so instead. So I have one of these and then two drawers. So it's four drawers in total. But that is what I have. I'm trying to see. But I mean, there's just so many. I never recommend going anything sideways because as soon as you get a bigger TV, it might not work. It probably won't work. And then you're just kind of stuck with it. So that is my advice of why I wouldn't get those. But yeah, let me do. I know the color's black. Let's narrow that down at least. Um, but yeah, I can't see it. I mean, they might not have mine anymore. I did get it a couple of years ago. But I really like it. You can see it in my latest soundbar video. So you can see it there. But yeah, it doesn't have. Mine didn't come with LEDs, although IKEA definitely sells smart LEDs you could buy to go in all of their stuff, and they like line everything up so it can be. I just know because my whole kitchen is IKEA, so they had a lot of those tricks and fun things for it. So yeah. Yeah, I cannot find mine, unfortunately. I just don't want to take up too much more time. But again, mine was not a three tier, or not three different ones, but two different ones, and had one top area with two empty squares instead of like this was two top ones. Two top, or sorry, four top ones. I had two top ones, and then I have two drawers underneath, but very similar to this design. And again, it just always depends on how big you want it to, because that will matter. I like mine too because they were like silent closing drawers, which I really liked. But again, it got damaged in the move, so I would need to get a new one. All right. Um. Whoa, a bunch of questions. Everybody drink. Are you ready for the unpacked in February 2024 for the S24 and the Galaxy Band? The Galaxy Band. I'm guessing it's their new ring. Um, I'm hoping it goes back to the U.S. because it really sucked to be one of the non-influencers that didn't get to go. It really sucked. Um, what other phone batteries blew up? There have been plenty of phone. If you do a YouTube search of smartphone batteries blowing up, you will see almost every phone. LG has had phones. iPhones have blown up plenty of times. There have been so many other phones that have blown up other batteries. Now, people will always say, "Oh, it wasn't me" or all that, and companies will always say it was their fault. They used a third-party charger and da 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 da. Whose fault is it? It probably was the manufacturer, to be honest. But because of it's not proven and it's always randomly more so, and yeah, but it's happened plenty of times, plenty of other phones. Um, let's see. I want to try foldables, but I believe Xiaomi Mi Fold and Vivo Fold are better. Since I have T-Mobile, would it be a good idea to invest in one of them? No. Um, I do believe the Xiaomi or the Vivo one of those had a global version, so it did have Google services. You definitely only want to get one that has Google services, but know that on a carrier like T-Mobile or AT&T, it will work, but you're not going to get full compatibility, so you might not get all 5G bands or something along those lines. Um, some of the global versions do better than others, but I remember when I used to have global versions of Samsung phones with Exynos and everything on there, and it definitely did not have the same good connectivity as the US variant did. So yeah. Um, are you going to the Snapdragon Summit this October to see the release of Snapdragon 8 Gen 3? I don't believe so. I would love to, but I have not heard anything from Snapdragon. Because I'm a part of another company that is already announced. I think they're under NDA. That has already announced something in like that in November. I do not think I'm going to go to the Snapdragon because I'm assuming they would have sent out their invitations and everything already. But yeah, I don't think so. But I would love to be considered for the future. I'm doing the Moto phone review is going to be for Snapdragon. It's their processor, and I will be talking about how that phone is $1,000. This phone is 1,800. That processor is definitely noticeably better. So that is one thing I do like. I have really come to grips with that with Snapdragon. So very looking forward to see it. Would love to go to Hawaii to go to their summit, but as of right now, not invited. Um, yes, and that chip will run the next Samsung generation S24s and pretty much everything high end smartphone of next year. So very excited to see it, of course. How can cases cool down the phone? Um, so I'm going to try to put this in simplest terms as possible. Um, heat, as it builds up, it connects to whatever's around it. So in a smartphone, there is a lot of metal, so that spreads the heat out very quickly. On more modern day smartphones compared to older smartphones, they have vapor chambers and heat sinks, which are made to spread out the heat. That is their sole purpose. It's a metal sheet, and some are metal sheets with water in them to cool it down. It's if you ever heard of someone building a PC, they use water cooling or fan cooling. Basically, it's how you cool things down from how it is normally. The reason why cases will cool down a phone, any case, whether it be a plastic, a silicone, or whatever it is, typically you have a little bit of rubberization or silicone in the inside because it dissipates heat so well. So it absorbs into the case and then spreads and then stops because silicone takes a lot to get up to that same heat level. So whereas you might touch something that is whatever 90 degrees and it might feel extremely hot, but if you touch it, you're essentially absorbing some of the heat. And that metal piece that might have been 100 degrees goes immediately down to more than likely, if it's not continuing to build heat, I should say. If it was left there at not at 100 degrees and you touch it, it is now not 100 degrees. It is now lower than it was before, and that's because you have absorbed some of its heat. Energy is transferred. E equals mc squared. So plain and simple, uh, heat the how we design all of electronics is to disperse heat, and that way it's not although it starts from one spot, it will go across and it will disperse and then eventually cool down. That's one thing the cases do very well, is that they take the heat from glass and metal that are very hot runners. It's one of the reasons actually why the plastic in older smartphones and the faux leather were so much better at heat disbursement than the modern day smartphones that use glass. Now, where that's kind of gone about the same level now is that um, you have smartphones that are cooler naturally. So the insides are cooler on modern day smartphones. The outside used to be cooler on older smartphones before they became all metal and glass. And there you go. That's your chemistry lesson, essentially. That basically the reason why so many plastics are used in a lot of devices is because they cool things down better, or silicone or things like that. They cool things down better. It's why when you open up a computer, like I did for my laptop, for instance, there was thermal pads to keep these newer SSDs cooler than they were before. They didn't need that. They didn't need heat sinks. And now they do, or they need something to cool it down. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. I'm trying to make it easier, but it is a complex topic. All right, guys. I think we will call that a night just because we do have a lot to get to. Oh, let's hope they send you an invite to beta test Samsung XR mixed reality. Oh, oh man, I would love to test those out. Where social media influencers like you get to test out the Ring and the Galaxy glasses in 2024. I want so badly to test out Samsung glasses. Like Samsung, if you're, please send this to someone at Samsung. Samsung, I am the best person ever to send your Samsung Galaxy glasses to. You have no idea. No one will sell more than me. No one. I will sell more than MKBHC because I know them. I know the market that well, and I know them that well. I'm a believer in them. Oh Jesus. Um, Speaking of heat, thoughts on the superconductors that were announced? Sorry, what superconductors were just announced? I did not follow up on that. Weekends are mainly to take care of my kids, so viral superconductor claims to leave. Okay. All I hear is that apparently that they left many scientists skeptical. Korea claims superconductor breakthrough. I will have to learn about this. I did not hear about it, so very curious to hear about it. But yes, I do not know about it, unfortunately. Hey Ricky, my wife opens the camera on her smartphone and it says camera error. Already tried focusing, close, stop, restarting the phone. What's with that? S21 Ultra, thanks. Um, if you've already reset the phone, my guess is that and you tried seeing if there was an update. My guess is that it's a hardware issue, not a software issue, because that should have fixed it with resetting the phone entirely. So I would take it to a hardware store such as Shurion, which took over the Break iFixit stores. So yeah, that's probably my first thing that I would recommend. Uh, you can, I forgot what it was now, but there is a diagnostic tool on your phone to see, to test things out. and it might give you a more accurate error reading with that on Samsung phones. I forgot what it was, but you could use. I think Samsung Care is still a thing, isn't it? I haven't used this kind of stuff for a while, but I don't have my. I left my Galaxy phone in my living room. Um, it's something like I think it's called Samsung Care still. It'll run the diagnostic without being so hidden like it was before, and you should be able to tell what it is from there. Sometimes S22 Ultra gets warm, not bad though. Yeah, I mean all phones get warm because the processors are, yeah, running hot. All right, guys, I will have to call it a night though because I can hear my kids, and yeah, I need to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry about the audio. I will fix that before next week. Thank you guys always so much for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Also, follow us on social media at YouTube Tech Guy, and check out some more great tech videos on your screen or